Psalm 81 starts, "Sing for joy to God our strength, shout aloud to the God of Jacob." And as I read this morning at home, I really wanted to shout out, but it was only 6 a.m. and I didn't think my family would be too happy with me belting it out and waking them all up. But as I read on in the psalm, I realised why the psalmist was so keen for joyous, loud music to God. Because there's a festival going on, verse 3. "Sound the ram's horn at the new moon, and when the moon is full on the day of our feast. This is a decree for Israel," the psalmist writes. A festival God set up for the Israelites to enjoy what God had done for them, saving them from slavery in Egypt, verse 4, and then to enjoy God himself by obeying his law, verse 8. "Hear, O my people, and I will warn you. If you would but listen to me, O Israel, you shall have no foreign god among you. You shall not bow down to an alien god. I am the Lord your God, who brought you up out of Egypt. Open wide your mouth, and I will fill it." But they didn't listen. They filled their mouths and their hearts with the fare of other gods, and so he gave them over to their stubborn hearts and their equally stubborn enemies. Verse 11 on details that. And yet, despite their rejection, God still yearns for them, to satisfy them as only he can. Verse 11, "If my people would but listen to me, if Israel would follow my ways, how quickly would I subdue their enemies and turn my hand against their foes. Those who hate the Lord would cringe before him, and their punishment would last forever. But you would be fed with the finest of wheat. With honey from the rock I would satisfy you." And as I read this, I found myself praying, "Oh God, forgive my wandering heart towards other gods. Open wide my mouth to you, the yawning, ravenous mouth of my heart to you." Because only God, the redeeming, covenantal God of Jacob, the one true and living God, only he can fill our heart. First, only he can massage the stubbornness out of our hearts and then fill them with himself, with his word in Jesus. So let's hear the loving warning in this psalm and listen to God afresh. Listen to his law as it drives us to his grace, where we find he has subdued all our enemies of sin and death and Satan, and does feed our hearts to satisfaction in Jesus, who is more supernaturally satisfying than even honey from a rock. Because it's there in Jesus, our true, eternal, living rock, we have more reason than the psalmist ever had to sing and shout for joy to God, our strength, the God of Jacob, the God of Jesus.